But she's been abducted all her life, and she still gets abducted here and there. She's pretty sick. They're doing a lot of things to her body. I mean, she has all the symptoms of radiation poisoning. So, and her dog had it. So I told her originally when I first started the radiation. She goes, no. And now they're doing these flow tests, finding out different things are wrong with her because she's losing her teeth, her hair's falling out, her fingernails are falling off. All these things aren't normal. It's not related to one sickness or anything, but it is related to radiation poisoning. So I don't know if she's going to be around a long time. I mean, she's nice and fun and everything, but what's happening to her body, like she was abducted about 4 or 5 months ago. I mean, she was with her boyfriend, and he got abducted with her. He cut the implant out of her butt. So, I mean, she has more than anybody I know. But some of her proof is locked up in government. So, yeah, I mean, I like to hear people that are real and that I can feel and know that are real. Because now she had this mass inside her stomach, and she had it cut out. In England, they film everything. So she asked for the video, and they wouldn't give it to her. She went to court and said, I want the video. And in court, they came up with this decision. It's too controversial. We can't release the video. It's her stomach. It's what was cut out of her. And they won't let her see it. So people don't understand how far the government will go to cover up what they want to cover up. So in the UFO world, it's becoming too popular in the sky for people not to become aware of it, and it's too impossible for the government to cover up all these stories now. If you travel the world in one day, I'm sure you can hear about 5 to 10 stories. I mean, in the old days, maybe 1 a year, you might hear a story of an abduction, or 2 a year. So, and that's only the ones that tell the story. I know when I look at the sky in the morning, there's about, I'd see 10 ships roughly I can see in one night, one morning. And that's just over my head. So imagine the whole rest of the planet. They're everywhere. They're not all stopping here and coming down and anything, but they're closing by. So, and then you would say, where are they going? And that's another question. Where do they usually go? What do they really need? And people have no desire to get the answers. I mean, they keep making up ideas what it means or what it is. But just, like for you, I'm going to give you a viewpoint. What do you think aliens are here for? Like the ships came over you. Why? Do you have any idea why or feel anything why it happened?
Like I said, wasn't doing really much research. I was doing research because some stories I was being told. But I wasn't really into it like that. And because I didn't, some of the research I brought up, long videos, I was just starting to get used to how you tell the difference between a fake video and a real video. So,
right.
I was looking at everything and seeing what I thought was real. And when that happened, it was.
Hello, you still there? Hello, Drew?
And he still shows, but Drew, your number still shows, but we can't hear you. It's odd. We're having the strangest. The internet drops calls, but yeah, it's still here. He's not showing it dropped off.
Check your mute button. Maybe you hit the mute button by mistake.
No, I'm looking at the board, but I turned him off and back on. Drew, can you hear us now? I keep my eyes on the board to make sure in case other people call in. Well, we're at the end of the show, Drew. I guess you can call in next Saturday. You ain't going to believe this, folks. It's called Ace Folklife. We have our own brand. It says Ace Folklife on the top. It has ACO in the middle and like a gold flag or with ACO in it. So we're the Ascension Center Organization, the ACE Folklife Society, Alien Contact Organization. We started with Dr. Bruce Maccabee. UFO Association. We started with Stanton T. Friedman. George Fowler said, don't forget him. And Jesse Marcel Jr. asked me to not forget him and Roswell for his daddy, because I did one of the original investigations to get the story down. So I just went around because wherever the people sent me, and I was told just to get the facts. Now, whatever the facts is, unless they wanted to put their name and sign an affidavit, but those were given to the lawyers that were working on cases on either the plaintiff or the defense side, or the government, or Agent Orange, the citizen soldiers is what we called our military. I worked on that case. Anyway, me and Tommy done this 8 years, folks. So, Tommy, I want you to help me co-host on Saturdays just to keep the ball rolling for these people. But I'm going to try to get Ronny to commit back to 8 at night. That'd be about, what time is it there, Tommy? It's 5 here.
Oh, it's 12 o'clock on the button right now.
All right. Well, we may do it at 12. What's best for you, Tommy? Because I'm going to have some help in our club. And you and Ronny signed up for $2 a month each.
12 or 1 is usually a decent time.
All right, 12 or 1. Okay. Let me see, since he dropped off, and he's, sometimes he can do an hour, but he don't have 2 hours of material. But I want folks to call in and give us, I want to expand, Tommy being the chairman of the ACO club, to expand membership so he don't have to talk all the time. He's had enough experience. He don't have to share anything. But he's writing books. He's an author. He's in my authors club. And I've got him a page on ACIR radio, which has got to renew. But, man, Tommy, they're killing me on these SSLs that Google requires now on every one of our domains. Mm-hmm. It's expensive. And I'm paying $40 a month here, have for 8 years, and then I'm paying $50 a month on Spreaker. So it'll go out on all these places, iTunes and Spotify and even Google Podcasts.
Well, is any one of them helping you? I don't want to talk about it.
Nobody's helping me.
Yeah, we'll talk after.
Yeah, nobody's helping me, Tommy. You know how it is.
Right.
So the only thing is people are willing to pay me for are psychic readings, and they call me. People are getting mad at me, Tommy, because I won't call them back on their psychic readings. So I'm going to pay. I got a 10% discount on my bookme.com. So I've got to show up, Tommy, like Teresa J. Morris, psychic reader. And I always showed up as Tara in Hawaii. But all my psychic people have just copied that Tara, so I've got to use my real name so they'll know it's me. The one good thing I got, Tommy, going for me is people say I sound real, and they like me, and they say everything I've told them has come true. So, I'm just doing those little free mini readings, Tommy, but they're not paying me for that. So I don't know how to make it work, Tommy. All I know is I'll do the best I can to help people. And I'm helping them more in technical these days, get their domains going. Is your domain okay? Is your website okay?
I got to do a lot of work on it. I haven't had time. I'm building a hot tub. I'm building a sweat lodge. I did so many things in the past 2 weeks.
Wow. Well, congratulations. Maybe you'll get it where people can come over on Saturdays, do a show with you on here. You can get them to talk on your cell phone maybe.
I actually got
people. I'd like to have some Hawaii people tell their stories, but Tommy,
people
all you
here
have
in
to
Hawaii
do
all have.
Yeah.
The people here have most people here have a UFO story.
Well, that's what we want. We want stories.
No, but they don't want to go on the radio. These people don't have TVs. A lot of these people, so they don't keep up on that kind of stuff.
Well, what about going over to the
weird.
Ascension Church Ohana and getting people involved Sundays? Have you gone over to check it out? Ascension Church Ohana? Right there by you. Well, you got it. All right. I guess you're just too busy.
I'll check it. See, all right. I'll check
it out. And Michael Sala won't play with you. Since you met Michael Sala at the store, you hadn't got along with him. I saw that note, and it's okay, but we'll talk offline. But Tommy, I just want to let people have a place they can show up and tell their story on paranormal stories, if supernatural, X-Files, all of the above.
All right. Look, your
anyway.
time's going to run out, so
it's
I'll
out
talk to you
already.
later.
I don't know what happened to Ronny,
all right.
but see if you can catch him on Facebook, Ronny Dawson, Ronny Dawson. See if you can catch him, and you can help him with the second hour. But I don't know if he's going to show up next week or set a time. But I'm going to need your help on Saturdays because somebody's got to fill in the air. I can watch the board and talk some, but I don't want to just do shows by myself after 8 years. You're a good co-host. You can, but I want you to bring people on that want to record their stories. That's what Ace Folklife's all about. And it's hard to. And you wrote a book on helping them if they want to see. So you've got an angle with your How to See UFO book. But we don't know what they want. It depends on the individual. But Tommy Gaia, GAIA, is sending me all kind of commercials, and I don't even pay Gaia my $5 anymore. But they got.
Well, they want you to join.
You and me have been talking 8 years about out of body and astral travel and metaphysics and how we don't have the whole story on this planet. So just look at what they're doing now. Not only are they doing the alien and the UFO stories.
Oh, no, I just wrote them. I listened to the one show, and I listened to the one free show, and I wrote a big letter underneath it. I keep on top of them as much as I can.
Well, my psychic fears, when I went with Erica Booster Haney, she's got a hard name. She's a pretty black girl here. She's beautiful, but she keeps our our psychic community, our spiritual community, our esoteric metaphysics, whatever you want to say, whole life expo kind of people, all of us together at least every 6 months. And she helped. She wanted to get the UFO community going again and asked me to do it and help head it. And I paid for a meetup group for over a year, $25 a month, for the metaphysics. And then the Edgar Casey people don't have anybody to represent them here. But I don't know if that's just Edgar Casey, the Sleeping Prophecy, because they have books and all that over North Carolina. But anyway, we're still out there, Tommy, with lots and lots of listeners on podcasting all over the world. But my numbers have been in the millions for years. But that GoDaddy, Blog Talk only lists so many. And on Spreaker's, on the back of the numbers, Spreaker gets lots of people listening on Spreaker and Blog Talk. And see, they've got built-in crowds. But then I'm paying that extra $50 a month to put it on all those places because I actually pay to market on all these other podcasting. iTunes I've always been listed on since the beginning. I was always listed on Stitcher and Spreaker from the beginning. But now, I'm on all the others too, all the big ones. And I've got some of the brands on this banner for this show. But, folks, we get the word out. So, and if you need me to help you get your WordPress up, we do domains, and I've got all these products I sell in the internet and technology in our archives and stuff. So we're archivists, researchers, storytellers, and most of us are friends of mine. Tommy and Janet came to me to do a UFO conference, and it's been 8 years since they came to me. They came to me on June 3rd, which was a Sunday. It'll be June 7th if you go by Sundays. It'll actually be tomorrow, but June 3rd. Well, he finally dropped off. So, well, Tommy, thanks for your help. Are you going to do Sundays? Are we going to do a spiritual show and talk just out of body?
What time would you want to do it? What time?
I don't know. I like it later the better for me because I stay up all night working on computers with people all over the world in India and other countries.
You're 5 hours different than I am, right?
Well, 5 o'clock's good if you want to do 5 to 7 on Sundays. Is that?
What are you talking about? Your time? Wait. 5 to 7. Right. Your time?
It'd be right now. It'd be 5 o'clock right now. Is that too late for you? That'd be 6 Eastern, 5 Central, 4 Mountain, and 3 o'clock Pacific on Sundays. That'd be noon. You'd be starting a 2-hour with me if you want to. You said noon to 1, or you want to do it an hour later? Is 1 o'clock on Sundays? Is it better late for you to be late?
No, because